All right, so now we're going to do the political compass test. If you go to politicalcompasstest.org, you can do it too. Find out where you align. I'm not the biggest fan of this test, but everybody kind of does it, so we're going to see where we align. I've done it twice. This will be my third time. I think this is Tavir's first time. Alex, you've done it a couple times. Phil, have you done this one before?
I have not.
Okay, so it's the first time for two of us. So we're going to see where we align. So first question. If economic globalization is inevitable, it should primarily serve humanity rather than the interests of transnational corporations. I'm going to say agree. I'm not hard on that one.
Yeah, I like that answer.
I'm disagreeing with that.
Ooh.
You think so?
No. I don't know.
I'd always.
I mean, but that's not honestly, that's not a clear question.
That's the problem with this test.
What do you mean by humanity, and what do you mean by transnational corporations? Like, exactly, because you break those terms. You could break those terms down so well. Like,
I will say that is the biggest problem with this test is it's too general, and there's so many specific cases where I would disagree. So for this one, I might even strategically say disagree for it to be more accurate.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to say disagree. All right.
Yeah, that's fair.
So the second question. I always support my country whether it's right or wrong. I do strongly disagree on that.
Well, again, it depends on...
Well, I'll say disagree.
Again, it depends. Right. So where are you at in your life, right? If you're just a normal civilian, then yeah. But if you're in the military, or if you're in the military, heck yeah, you're gonna back up your country, right or wrong. Like, but then again, you swear to protect,
Yeah, it's a hard one, and the thing is, like, you can say it for all these questions is like it depends.
Yeah. Because I'm a military, I was in the military for a while. That
Next question is: no one chooses his or her country of birth, so it's foolish to be proud of it.
Disagree.
I strongly disagree.
Strongly disagree. Yeah.
Are we all gonna go for the same answers?
No, you don't have to.
Because if this happens.
No, we're picking our own answers, but if we do it,
no, I know, but like this might lead up to like picking our own answers. Because one opinion might be influenced by another opinion. So in the end, we're gonna. I'm not saying we're
biasing each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we'll have interesting results.
Oh well.
Our race has our race. One of us. Okay, we all have. This is gonna be a different one. Our race has many superior qualities compared with other races.
Everyone is stupid.
This is one of those questions that's entirely like. Okay, one, what race do they mean? Are they specifically saying like white people, or are they saying like just enter your own
your own race? I think is what it means.
What do they mean by superior qualities? Does that mean that everyone else has inferior qualities? Like,
that's what it implies. Yeah, there's a hierarchy. So I'd say strongly disagree.
Asians are smarter.
That's racist.
Well, if I strongly disagree, does that mean that other races superior?
That's true. There's so many ways to look at that question, honestly. It's not as clear cut as it seems. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. I'd say agree, because in some cases it can.
Yeah.
Military action that defies international law is sometimes justified. Agree.
Yeah, I strongly agree with that. I think a lot of these international laws that they have, like, it does not happen in the real world, or it shouldn't happen in the real world. Like, do you think people are really going to care? Like, you think Al Qaeda or whatever, like ISIS, is going to care about international laws when they go and like?
Exactly.
Yeah. And most of the time, when you're talking about like the Geneva Conventions, we're probably the only country that actively follows it to the letter anyway.
Oh yeah.
I think Europe does, but they never declare war on anyone, so it doesn't really matter anyways.
Next question. There is now a worrying fusion of information and entertainment. I'd say agree.
I disagree with that. I think it's actually interesting. Like, the more fusion of information and entertainment, like, that's actually good things. People actually learn stuff.
Ooh, I'm gonna say agree. I do know where you're coming from on that. That's a valid point.
It's good to have differences.
People are ultimately divided more by class than by nationality. I tend to agree.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. If you're like super rich, they're probably going to be more like than people, who are poor within their same country.
Controlling inflation is more important than controlling unemployment. Oh, see, I think they're both important.
Well, yeah, like, what do you mean? Like, I don't think we should really be controlling unemployment at all. Like that, like how can you really do that? Just hire more people for the government.
Well,
Like, just let things be free.
I'm gonna say disagree. I don't know on that one.
Like, they should give you a neutral option, I think.
The 8 values one sometimes is a little better because it gives you that option.
Nuance.
Nuance. Because corporations cannot be trusted to voluntarily protect the environment, they require regulation. I'd say strongly agree, personally.
I'm disagreeing with that.
Some. I'd agree some. Not strongly, but yeah, definitely some.
It's my authoritarian side coming out. From each according to his ability to each according to their need is a fundamentally good idea. Now, that is a Marx quote, for the record. As a Karl Marx quote, I'm going to disagree. I forget exactly what it means. I think it has to do with, like, redistribution of wealth.
Yeah, so, yeah, like, basically, from each according to his ability, like, so, I don't know. Yeah, it's basically give people who need more, even though, like, I don't know. It's
I'll say strongly disagree. Yeah, it's communism. It's a sad reflection of our society that something as basic as drinking water is now bottled, branded consumer product. No, I disagree.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea. Like, it's helped people before. Like, if you ever had, a boil water advisory, no one wants to deal with that. Just buy a bottle of water.
Yeah. Land shouldn't be a commodity to be bought and sold. Whoa, strongly disagree. Because that implies it's owned by the government or it's...
Abolish private property.
Yeah, pretty much. It is regrettable that many personal fortunes are made by people who simply manipulate money and contribute nothing to their society.
I disagree with that because, people make money off of, like, they'll be like sports players, and, at least people manipulate money do more than people, like, you want to talk about the grand scheme of things. Like, there's tons of jobs out there, like, manipulating money isn't that bad when you start looking at some of these other ones, like, get your, like, Snapchat models, like the premium Snapchatters out there.
Yeah. Protectionism is sometimes necessary in trade. I totally agree. That's like Trump's tariffs, fighting back against China. Totally agree. The only social responsibility of a company should be to deliver a profit to its shareholders. I wouldn't say it's the only responsibility, but that's kind of the point of a company.
Yeah, like, what else do they want them to do?
I'm going to... Ooh, that's a hard one. Because I wouldn't say it's their only social responsibility, so I'm going to say... Oh, God. I'm going to say disagree. I don't like that question, but I'm going to say disagree.
I'm already hating this thing.
I know, it's terrible.
I strongly agree with that one. Let's keep going.
The rich are too highly taxed. Strongly agree.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Those with the ability to pay should have access to higher standards of medical care. Strongly agree.
Yep.
Government
should penalize businesses that mislead the public.
Oh, I agree with that. 100%.
I agree.
If you flat out lie to people, absolutely, that's violation.
Yeah.
A genuine free market requires restrictions on the ability of predatory multinationals to create monopolies. Strongly agree. The freer the market, the freer the people.
Agree.
Strongly agree.
Yeah, strongly with that.
We're halfway through, boys. Almost halfway through, I should say. Abortion, when a woman's life is not threatened, should always be illegal.
Mandatory abortions, please.
State-enforced abortions.
Loki wanna die.
Yes. No, that's messed up.
I'm going to say agree. I hate that question.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like that either because there's of course there's like I don't know. I feel like there's exceptions, but those exceptions are a very, very small slice, Like, no, you just need discipline. You need discipline.
Yeah. You need a $2 condom. All authorities should be questioned. Strongly agree.
I agree to some extent. I mean, there's at some point I think there's some
trust, but I always question it. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Agree.
I strongly agree with that.
Yeah, I'll say strongly. Taxpayers should not be expected to prop up any theaters or museums that cannot survive on a commercial basis.
Wait, why?
It's basically saying we shouldn't have to give if there's a museum or theater that cannot survive on its own, taxpayer money shouldn't be going to it.
Oh.
Yeah, I agree with that. I've worked
kind of
at a
agree.
private museum before. Yeah, they can exist.
Schools should not make classroom attendance compulsory, which I think means required.
Yes. I strongly agree with that one.
I disagree.
I've had people in class like who did not want to be there, and it made my life, terrible.
That's true. I understand. That's a good point. I would only say disagree because I believe that an educated public is better, and I think that needs to be pushed. But it is a good point. Like, I could go either way on that. All people have their rights, but it's better for all of us that different sorts of people should keep to their own kind. What do they mean by kind? Does that mean race, gender, or class?
Does it, like, if you said the opposite of that, would that mean that everyone should be mixed with everyone?
Yeah. I'm going to say disagree for strategic.
Strongly disagree because, you need all kinds of people in your life.
Yeah, I'll say...
It's like self-segregate, like that whole Latino dorm.
Yeah.
You're self-segregating yourself.
And that's not necessarily healthy. Good parents sometimes have to spank their children. Strongly agree. I'm just going to say agree.
Disagree.
There's certain...
Depends what you mean by
spank your kids. Spank your kids.
Give them the beating.
I kind of disagree.
No, you psych major, you.
Spank them.
It's natural for children.
Molyneux would not like us right now.
No, I know. I always say in some cases, and spanking sounds harsher than it should be.
I've had to deal with kids before. I think there's a
time.
People,
it's a lazy way
some
to
kids, it's like, what else are you
kids.
gonna do?
It's natural for children to keep some secrets from their parents. Of course. Strongly agree.
Yeah.
Possessing marijuana for personal use should not be a criminal offense. Disagree. I know people are going to disagree with me on that. The prime function of schooling should be to equip the future generation to find jobs. Well,
I strongly agree with that one.
I'd say it's more than finding a job. It's also being qualified for a job. So I'm going to say agree. People with serious inheritable disabilities should not be allowed to reproduce.
Low-key offended.
I'm offended. I'm gonna say disagree.
That's a tough one.
Yeah,
I get
so
where it's coming from.
What is that exactly?
Yeah.
Down syndrome, I guess, or like.
Dude, everyone has a recessive quality in them where, they have the capabilities of producing, people's disabilities, but...
Well, and here's the thing, too, is
I guess be like someone with like a serious... Like, I have a buddy of mine who had this congenital form of diabetes that, like... It was really messed up, but I don't think he shouldn't be allowed to reproduce.
Well, and I don't think it's something the government should be enforcing. Like, for my brother, for example, who has many loyal listeners and is autistic, he's not going to reproduce because he doesn't... Number one, I don't think he knows how to. But number two, he's like women aren't gonna be with him.
It's like a product. It's a natural selection and sexual selection take over.
What if he finds like an equally, I know
what you're trying to say. Yeah, but that's not
gonna happen. Realistically. And if it does, then good for him.
Well, who knows? I mean, what if he discovers a dating app or something?
Does he know the concept of dating?
Do you remember the show Atypical?
Kind of. Yeah, I do, Alex. We're gonna watch season 3 soon.
Yeah.
We gotta watch that. We're gonna give a reaction to that. It's gonna be funny. We gotta do that. Maybe we can do that tonight. That show's funny. In a bad way. Okay, if not, we'll do another night. The most important thing for children to learn is to accept discipline.
Agree.
I disagree with that.
I disagree. I understand the importance of discipline, but I don't think it's the most important thing for children to learn. There are no savage and civilized people. There are only different cultures.
Nope,
I strongly agree. No, strongly disagree. Some cultures are better than others, like the ones that don't push gays off of buildings. Those who are able to work and refuse the opportunity should not expect society's support. Strongly agree. When you are troubled, it's better not to think about, but to keep busy with more cheerful things.
What does this have to do with politics, though?
It's about philosophy or how you view things.
I agree with that to a certain extent.
Me too.
You kind of have to.
But you also need to think about I'm going to say agree.
Well, it depends, because, if you're just going to keep things in you, then it's just going to blow up eventually, so...
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I'll say disagree.
Yeah, you could go either way on that. I wouldn't fault anyone. First-generation immigrants can never be fully integrated within their new country. Slight agree. I think it's second generation when they actually get pretty integrated. What's good for the most successful corporation is always ultimately good for all of us. Disagree.
I disagree with that.
No broadcasting institution, however independent its content, should receive public funding. I agree. Yeah. Next page. We're getting there. We might go over to the next hour, but that's okay. Our civil liberties are being excessively curbed in the name of counterterrorism. Yeah, they are. It's not necessarily mean it's a good or bad thing, but, you know. A significant advantage of a one-party state is that it avoids all the arguments and delay process in a democratic political system. I mean, yeah.
I agree with that. That's pretty true.
It's true, but that doesn't mean it's good, you know?
Well, technically, it's not really what's asking. It just says that's a significant advantage of it.
Yeah. I'm going to say disagree only for strategic reasons. Even though I agree with that statement, I'm just going to say disagree for strategic reasons. Although the electronic age makes official surveillance easier, only wrongdoers need to be worried. Disagree strongly.
I strongly disagree with that.
Yeah. The death penalty should be an option for the most serious crimes. Strongly agree. We don't use it enough.
Yep.
Dictator Phil is probably couldn't strongly agree with that more. In a civilized society, one must always have people above to be obeyed and people below to be commanded. Agree. Hate to say it.
It's life.
Yeah, you need hierarchies. Abstract art that doesn't represent anything shouldn't be considered art at all.
I don't know.
I hate that question. Because I don't consider it all art, but anything can be art.
Yeah,
No,
and that's another one of those things. That's another one of those questions that's not like specific enough to really give a good answer.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say disagree. You could go either way on that. Oh, in criminal justice, punishment should be more important than rehabilitation.
Depends. There's so
that
many
depends.
types of, and there's so many different kinds of crimes out there.
What about in general then? What about in general?
Okay, well, are you talking about like infractions, misdemeanors, like
most crimes there
most
of all the
crimes
crimes committed should mostly punishment be the right solution?
What is the most general crime, first of all?
Well, most crime. Yeah, that's true.
What are they?
What is most crimes? Like what's
drunk driver? He should be punished first, and then work on rehab. That should be a secondary part of it.
I'm going to say agree, but that one that's a hard one.
You could go agree or disagree depending on what it is. Like
yeah, you really could. It is a waste of time to try to rehabilitate some criminals.
Be specific
strongly
with the
agree.
Criminals. Be specific
but
with
some,
the drug criminals, robberies. What are you talking about? I guess.
Yeah.
Do you think think of it this way? Do you think there are some criminals that have no hope in ever being rehabilitated?
Yeah, there are some. But are you talking about like felonies or
Yeah, so you would agree then.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, at the very minimum, you'd agree. The business person, the manufacturer, more important than the writer and the artist.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I agree, but it's implying that because culture is important, but
culture is important, but you can't have not when your economy's failing.
Exactly.
Not at the failure of the economy. No.
Yeah, I agree. Mothers may have careers, but their first duty is to be homemakers.
Well, if they're a mom, then that's their responsibility.
If you have a child, you better make sure she's taken care of.
Yeah, that's what it's saying. So we'd all agree with that. Yeah, I strongly agree. Multinational companies are unethically exploiting the plant genetic resources of developing countries.
How so?
Strongly disagree.
I disagree. Except maybe
disagree.
China.
I mean, there's certain ones that are, but like not everybody.
Plant genetic resources, like that's a humanity thing. Like no one owns like the plant's genetics.
That's true too.
Who owns the plants?
Lack specifics.
Yeah, that's the problem with this test, but we'll roll with it. Making peace with the establishment is an important aspect of maturity. Strong disagree.
I think to a certain extent, I agree with that. To a certain extent.
Yeah, me too. I mean, you don't want to make enemies of everyone, but we're pretty anti-establishment on this show.
Astrology.
Astrology accurately explains many things. Strongly disagree. If anybody puts I agree,
I strongly agree.
You need to be taking a different test. I'll just say that. You cannot.
What was that last question again?
Astrology accurately explains many things. You cannot be moral without being religious.
Disagree.
Strongly disagree, even though I think religion's important in society.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just say disagree for
Ancient Egyptian religion.
You still ancient Egyptian religious?
Hey, that's a pretty good religion, though.
I guess so.
We looked into it, though. Better than Christianity, no
Disagree.
offense.
Charity is better than Social Security as a means of helping the genuinely disadvantaged. I disagree.
I strongly agree. I hate Social Security.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I would say probably
I don't know.
agree.
I
Yeah,
would say in
just
a
like-
perfect world, agree, but not in today's world.
Yeah.
Some people
Well,
are
I
na-
think it's-
what?
I think a certain extent, Social Security kind of took away all funding from the other charities that existed.
You could say that. Some people are naturally unlucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Some
brother's a
people are
perfect
unlucky.
example.
Yeah.
My brother is
Yeah.
just literally naturally unlucky.
Yeah, I know someone born into poverty, like legit poverty. She's very unlucky with her life, but she's trying.
It is important that my child's school instills religious values.
Disagree.
No.
Nah. Evolution over.
No.
Well, that's not necessarily religious value. Evolution's different.
Well, what are you talking about religious values?
Like-
though?
Being nice to people.
Well, that goes for any
That's not
culture,
really
though. To be
religious
even
value.
ancient
that's not
Egyptian culture, they talk about being nice
Necessarily
to
a
people.
religious value.
Well,
Yeah.
Nice to
treating
people.
like
No.
chivalry, that's a religious value.
Ancient Egyptians probably.
It's
Okay.
debatable.
Yeah, that one, I disagree with it, but I think that's not so black and
specific.
white.
Again, this is one of those ones that's not specific enough to really answer.
Because people don't realize how many of our values are rooted in Christianity.
Yeah.
That's the
Disagree. There's
thing.
ancient Egyptians.
Okay, now. We're sending you to Egypt, and you can tell us about their values. How about that?
No, ancient Egypt. Like, send me a time machine. I'll go back.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna have to.
I'll get DeLorean.
All right.
Okay. Sex outside marriage is usually immoral. Okay, but I know what Ben Shapiro would say. I'm going to say strongly disagree. How is it immoral?
Rip religious values, Sean.
Yeah, that's a religious value that should be changed. A same-sex couple in a stable, loving relationship should not be excluded from the possibility of child adoption. That's a hard one for me.
I'm strongly disagreeing with that. Well, actually, hold on.
I don't know. I'm not going to I don't know. I'm just going to say agree.
So far, I know someone who's raised in that.
How'd they turn out?
Oh, fine. She plays Mills in high school. She plays the violin. That's all I know about her. But a very nice person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pornography depicting consensual adults should be legal for the adult population. I agree.
Agree.
It's degenerate, but I agree.
Yeah.
What goes on in a private bedroom between consenting adults is no business of the state. Strongly agree.
Yes.
I don't know. Let's say you have a brother and a sister.
Ooh.
Well, it's consenting, though, but, you know.
Is
They're
it?
both consenting, but they're both brother and
Yeah.
sister, and they
Hey,
want.
If that West Virginia couple wants to, have a relationship, that's no business of the government.
Well, yeah, but what if they have like 20 incest babies and then they're all like have to be put on together?
Well, that's West Virginia's problem. That's not mine.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
In the state near you.
No one can feel naturally homosexual. Strongly disagree.
What do they mean by naturally?
Yeah, that's not really a like what.
I don't know.
What do you mean
That's the
natural?
person who made this.
I think they're saying like homosexuality is not something that is natural.
Is it based in genetics? Has there been evidence that is
yeah.
actually based in genetics?
Oh yeah, there's like plenty, but you can say there are more theories. But there are testing on, like, for example, the index finger, the 2D versus 4D. Like, it's been shown, like, gay men have like this the ratio of like the 2D versus 4D fingers versus like straight men. So it's like stuff like, and also I think it has to do with like maybe the hippocampus. This one part of the hippocampus where it controls like sexual behavior. So it's like just stuff like that. But it's like kind of theory, but it's not exactly like a known. Oh, and there's also I guess the mother hypothesis where having
there
older
be a gay
brothers.
gene out there.
They're looking into it though, but there's just like many theories of like how are there gay people out there. So I'm taking an evolution sex class on it. So yeah.
That's an important class.
Well, it's interesting though, because like when you think about that, like there'd be a 1-to-1 with twin studies if this was 100% inherited. And like another interesting thing too is a lot of like people who are homosexual or sexually abused as a child. Like look at Milo, he was abused by
I think it's a combination of nature and nurture, to be honest.
Nature versus nurture, though. Honestly,
I don't think it's versus. I think it's nature and nurture.
Nature and nurture, but the debate's usually nature versus nurture.
I know, and I think that's the problem with the debate. It's like it's got to be one or the other. Where I think it can be both or a mixture.
Well, the science community, everything's nuance.
No, everything is. These days, openness about sex has gone too far.
I strongly agree.
Well, what did they mean? Because like the pride parades, I say go too far, but I think
just in the media, Miley Cyrus, the whole like twerking on stage, you know.
Yeah, I guess I agree.
Music,
going into like drag shows at like age 5.
Well, now we get to see. Yeah. So everybody's got their answers punched in.
Yeah.
Okay, time to see where we stand on this thing. Bum 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 bum. You have to scroll down to the bottom, I think. Oh, I am still exactly where I thought I'd be.
Huh.
I am center-right libertarian, only a little bit.
Dude, I'm like a left authoritarian.
What? Yeah. Oh, no, you're not. I knew it. You keep saying you're a lefty. I'm like, no, you're not, Tahrir. You're not a liberal. No, you're not. Okay, everybody take a screenshot and post it in the chat so I can compare them all, see where we all land.
I think communism is pretty cool.
Alex, you're authoritarian as, my God. That's a word I can't
Actually, I dropped a bit from the last time I did this.
See, I thought I'd be more authoritarian because I've gotten more authoritarian, I felt. I really think I have. Did you post yours, Tahrir?
No, I'm looking. I'm doing it right now.
Oh, Phil. Phil, you're such a radical centrist.
He's a centrist.
Cock.
Did I not tell you that I'm like... I'm as central as it gets.
And I told you, Tahrir, that you were more right-wing than me on some things. You didn't believe me, and you are. You are.
To be fair,
to be fair, this test is not accurate.
Yeah, to be fair, this is not very accurate.
I know. But it gives you a relative sense, I think. You know? Like, I'm not far right. I'm not super authoritarian. I'm not even super libertarian. I've always thought I'm kind of centristy. And Phil, I'd say the same thing about you.
I think I'm very central. I think I am kind of, because I have certain things that I'm, that I'm left leaning about. And then there's certain things that I'm right leaning about. And it's just,
Yeah, and if I don't post these screenshots in the video for whatever reason, Alex aligned on the x-axis. He's right in the middle of the right side, and then he's authoritarian about halfway up. So he's like halfway on the right, halfway up on the authoritarian, about. And then I am a little bit to the right and then a little bit down. So I'm like a centristy, libertarian.
Sean's a centrist.
Phil's more of a centrist. Phil is he's literally dead center and then down a bit. So he's a centrist libertarian. And then Tahrir is a little bit more to the right than me and a little bit more down than me, I think. So you are a right-leaning libertarian. So the most extreme is technically Alex, then the most centrist is Phil, and Tahrir and I are kind of in between there. I'm more towards Phil, and you're a little away from me, but I think it's funny. Well, that was fun. I'm glad we got to do that. We talked about doing this, and we finally did it. So great job, guys. Did the most inaccurate political test ever that everybody does. Tommy Robinson was a radical centrist too.